So, Shannon, go ahead and hit the record. Hey, good morning, everyone. We are here and very excited. This is our Temecula Valley all-region joint meeting this morning, and we've got some very exciting news. We've been kind of waiting, and it's right around the corner now, so we're days away from a launch. We've got a very special guest speaker this morning. Fred Bin is with us, who is the founder and CEO of Zoom Casa. And Fred's going to explain to us how Zoom Casa relates to Berkshire Hathaway Home Services California Properties and our new Apex Concierge service. But suffice it to say that we were very impressed with what Fred has brought to the table. We were very excited to see it launch and can't wait to begin utilizing it. And maybe Fred, during the presentation, we can touch a little bit on the one little beta experience that we had out of Anaheim Hills. That would be helpful too. But without any further ado, Fred Bin, thank you for joining us this morning, and take it away. Tell us how Zoom Casa is going to change how we do business.
Thank you so much for having me on today. So to clarify, my name is Fred Bin. I'm the CEO of Zoom Casa. We are a third-party company that partners with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services to power a program called Apex Concierge. And Apex Concierge is the private label version of this program that's unique and proprietary to Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. So again, it's just the private label version of Zoom Casa. And this is, the Apex name is what you'll present to your clients and in your offices and with your marketing materials. The purpose of today's talk is to explain at a high level what this program accomplishes. And if you take away a couple things from today's talk, it's number one, what services are available and how you as a real estate agent can choose what is most important for your practice that'll really help you take your practice to the next level. And the entire purpose of this program is to help you as a professional agent differentiate yourself and add value across the entire home ownership life cycle so that you can win more listings, sell more homes, and increase your GCI. It's really that simple, and everything is designed from the ground up to support you, full service agents like you. So I like to first talk about, what does it mean to be a concierge service? And, you may or may not be familiar with the term. And, there's different versions of this concierge program that are thrown around in the marketplace. And I like to say that not all concierge programs are created equal. So I think it's really important that we understand exactly what services are offered, what's available, and what you as a Berkshire Hathaway Home Services agent can bring to bear to support your clients. So, you may attend today's meeting thinking this is a program that is renovate now, pay at closing. It is. But that's one small piece of the pie. So this is how we look at the entire home ownership life cycle. And our goal is to help you as a professional real estate agent offer your clients unique services that deliver value across this entire life cycle. So not just sellers, but also buyers and folks that are in transition. So for sellers, our service offers a listing concierge. And this is your renovate now, pay at closing. So everything from touch-up paint to staging to, several $100,000 of the renovation work. Whatever improvements your clients need to prepare their home for sale so that it sells for top dollar faster and maximizes net proceeds at closing. And, this is how you as an agent pitch and say, hey, I know you can list your home with another agency as is, but if you spent, 10, 20 grand doing painting and flooring and staging, I think your home might sell for 50,000 more. And if you list your home with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, we have a program called Apex Concierge that will enable you to meet with a professional designer and have professional vendors handle all these services, and you can pay for it at closing. So you can maximize your net proceeds with no cash out of pocket. Now that's just one piece of the pie. What do you do with clients that want to buy before they sell? How many times do you write a contingent offer that's pretty much a non-starter in today's market? So we have various service offerings that help sellers buy before they sell. We can talk about that in a little bit more detail later on this call today. We have a lot of clients that are seniors, or maybe it's the family that's your client and they're dealing with an elderly parent that needs to transition into assisted living or have help moving out of their house. And that is a scary prospect for many families. So we have an entire division that helps with that and makes that process painless. How do you navigate? What do you do with 40 years of memories in the house? How do you move stuff out? How do you pack? How do you do so in a way that's tactful and delicate and respects the seller? And how do you move them into a comfortable situation, whether it's assisted living or memory care, whatever that might be. Now, of course, once they sell, they got to move. So we have a moving concierge service. Now, one point of contact, you get to deal with movers, packers, storage. Again, at a high level, this is a service that's only available to homeowners that work with professional agents. They can go to the Yellow Pages, they can go to Yelp and make their own calls and arrange their own stuff, but because they work with you, they have a concierge service. And that's a tremendous amount of value that you bring to the table. And by you bringing value to the table, you justify charging a full service commission. And if the value you deliver exceeds the cost of your commission, it's a no-brainer. Now, and this is what we're most excited about, and this is services for buyers. And this is unique to our service offering. So how often do you show a client a house? They say, you know what, I love it, but I hate the blank. I hate the kitchen, I hate the bath. You showed them 10 houses, every single house had some deficiency. I want to empower you to tell clients, hey, I know that you can go out and shop for your houses on Zillow, on Redfin, and you can do this on your own. But if you work with me, any house you look at can be your dream home. And we have a solution that'll help you customize any deficiency you see with the house. You don't like the kitchen? No problem. You don't like the bathroom? No problem. So by enabling you to deliver solutions to your clients, you look like a rock star. And you're going to increase your GCI, you're going to demonstrate value, you're going to outperform the competition. Now, I think it's important to talk about a few examples because we talk about, various service offerings and how they integrate together. And, part of this program is training is absolutely critical because you as an agent need help to understand how these different services integrate together because the value of them together is so much more important and valuable to the consumer than just having one individual offer. So for instance, helping a buyer customize their home in and of itself is a lot less valuable than being able to tell them, hey, we'll prepare your home for sale, we'll help you buy before you sell, and we'll prepare the home that you're buying. So it's how do you integrate these together and come up with solutions for your clients. So I don't want you to stress that you need to have a takeaway from this conversation today and have specific details and a complete understanding of how this program works. If you take away one thing from today's talk, it's at a high level, what kind of services are available. And then when you're ready, you can sign up, pick whichever plan is most relevant to your practice. And then depending on the plan, you'll either have one-on-one training with one of our account executives, or you'll be able to attend a webinar. And we'll talk about that in more detail today. Now, here's an example. John and Vinny want to upgrade from a condo to a house. So they own a 2-bedroom condo worth $575,000. And they owe $200K on it. And they want to move to a 4-bedroom house with $875,000. They're hesitating making a move because of COVID. They don't want to live in a short-term rental. They don't want to have to pay movers twice. And they're afraid that in today's market, if they sell their condo before they find the right house, they won't find the right house and they're going to be stuck because Vinny wants a very specific type of kitchen. So how many times do you deal with a client that they're in this stasis, right? They want to move, but they don't want to move, and it's a catch-22. What do I do first? Well, because you have access to Apex Concierge, you have a solution. So what's the first thing that we can do? Well, we can offer them the ability to buy before they sell. So because they have equity in their condo that they're selling, they can unlock that equity and be able to buy their next property before they sell their condo. So this overcomes their objection that, hey, if I sell my condo, I won't be able to find a suitable replacement property. Next, you get to use your listing concierge service to prepare their condominium for sale. And because you subscribe to Apex Concierge and you have this ability to offer to your clients, you can explain to them that the properties that I sell, because of Apex Concierge, sell 3.3% above the broader market and twice as fast. So on a $575,000 condo, 3% of that is about 20 grand. That's proceeds you're putting into the client's pocket that they wouldn't get if they listed with anyone else. Now, remember Vinny, he has very specific desires about his new kitchen. Well, any of the homes you look at, if he doesn't love the kitchen, you've got a solution. He can customize it to his exact specifications. And this is not you just turning him over to a contractor. He gets to work with a professional designer who will turn his vision into reality. He'll have a professional project manager and access to our proprietary vendor platform where he can use vetted vendors to customize his kitchen to his exact specifications. So what does that mean for you, the agent? Well, you just doubled your client's lifetime value. You got to represent the same seller on their purchase before you even sold their home. You differentiated yourself and you added value. And that's what this program is all about. So here's another example for you. Ron and Rita are in their 70s and it's time to downsize. They own $1 million house free and clear. They'd like to move into a luxury condominium, downsize, not have to deal with the maintenance. And they think that'll cost them around $600,000. As a senior, they don't qualify for a traditional mortgage. So again, they're stuck in stasis, right? They're stuck in the mud. They don't want to sell. They'd like to downsize, but they can't sell because they don't have the equity, and they can't qualify for a traditional mortgage on the next house that they're buying. And they don't want to sell before they buy because they're afraid they won't find the right property. Can't blame them. They're in their 70s and it's in the middle of a pandemic. Well, you have a solution. Use one of our bridge programs to help them access the equity in their home before they sell. Use their listing concierge service to prepare their home for sale. And as most clients might say, my home is beautiful and I don't want to do anything, but my expectation for pricing is here. Well, you can sell them, hey, I think you need to prepare your home for sale, and this is a means for you to do it with no cash out of pocket. And if we do this, it'll maximize value and get you the price that you want. For buyers, and then of course they have to move, so you have your moving concierge service. So they have one-stop solution from everything from moving to packing to storage to decluttering to utility disconnection and reconnection. Someone handles that all. And then the house that they're buying. Maybe Rita had a hip replacement and she needs some help customizing and putting in an elevator or whatever she might need and making it a little bit more comfortable to live in. Well, you have a solution for that. Again, what does it mean for you, the agent? You double the customer lifetime value because you got to rep them on the buy before the sell. You differentiated yourself and you added value. And that's what this program is all about. So we have a few different tiers. And depending on your practice and your clientele, there might be, this is something that you need to consider and think about and decide what makes sense for you. So we have our basic concierge tier, which thanks to Berkshire Hathaway Home Services is free for you as an agent. And this allows you to enable your clients to renovate now and pay later. So this is your, we'll paint, we'll do flooring, we'll renovate your kitchen, whatever improvements drive value and performance, and the client can pay at closing. You get access to that, and you get access to our one concierge dashboard. So this is a software solution that you can log into. You have one place you can monitor the progress. You can connect with our designers and our project managers and see exactly what's going on. So if you're most concerned about helping your clients' sellers prepare their home for sale, then this is the right fit for you. Now, we have a few premium tiers, and there's an annual cost for you to participate in these programs. And those are called Concierge Plus and Concierge Pro. Now, this allows you not just to offer pre-sale renovations, but bridge financing. It allows you to offer your clients senior services for sellers. It allows you to offer a moving concierge. And critically, it allows you to offer services for buyers. Now, if you elect to participate in one of our premium tiers, you get access to our one-on-one bespoke training. So this is not going to be a webinar, it's a one-on-one. And this is a time where we listen and learn about your practice. And we try to sit down and figure out with you, how can you integrate these solutions into your practice, which is already working, to take it to the next level? So how do you integrate a listing concierge service? How do you integrate solutions for buyers? How do you integrate a buy before you sell tool to take your existing practice, kick it up a notch and increase your GCI? Now, because you attend this one-on-one training with us and you sit down and you really learn about the program in detail, you get certified. And this is something that you can market to your clients and put on your resume, put in your email signature that you have a concierge certification. This is something that we give you once you spend some time with us, really doing a deep dive on how this program works. Third, and this is important, you get marketing support. So outside of the traditional materials that Berkshire Hathaway Home Services provides you as an agent, you'll get regular social media and other posts that you can use to market to your clientele. And then a lot of times we get questions from agents, hey, can you attend a listing presentation with me to explain this to the client, especially the first time? Clients have lots of questions and it's a little bit daunting. How do I explain all these different services in a way that the seller will understand? And what if they ask me questions, I don't have the answer? Well, we've got you covered. We'll actually participate in 2 listing presentations with you. So we'll literally Zoom in with a Zoom call, and you can put your seller on the line, and we'll have a conversation with them. And we record it so that you can use this for your own purposes later, and you can rehearse the next time so you can do this on your own. Again, we're entirely committed to your success. Now, for folks that really want to take this concierge mentality and services and make it an integral part of their practice, we have the Pro program. And this is a little bit more expensive, but I think it delivers a lot of value, and this is why. So number one, you get access to our mastermind, and this is an invitation-only class that I host bi-monthly with other agents around the country that are ultra-high producers. These are folks that are typically selling 25 to 50 units a year at a minimum. And you get access to our premium commission advance program, which, especially in today's pandemic, makes a lot of sense for real estate agents that just to manage your cash flow. It's up to 80% cheaper than other programs in the marketplace. And then again, this is why I think the program pays for itself. On listings that you use our service to prepare for sale, you get free photos. We pay for them. So you figure, listing photos are $200, $250. You sell 5, 6 listings a year, pays for itself. Again, 3 tiers, depending on your practice, depending on how you want to use the service, depending on what makes most sense for you. There is a free option. There's no pressure to sign up for one of the premium ones. But if you're ready and you're committed and you want to make this part of your practice going into the 2021 selling season, we're going to be there right alongside you and make the investment in your success. So when the big day happens, which is the 1st, you're going to get an email from corporate with a link to sign up. You'll have an opportunity literally to click a button. You get to pick which plan you want. There's an entire explanation which makes the most sense. And you literally click the button, whichever one you want to subscribe to. Takes you to this page. You pick which office you're in. You say your first name, your last name, your email. You create a password. You enter your phone number, and you create an account. It's really that simple. So at this point, maybe we open it up for questions, and anything that I can be helpful with, happy to answer. How's that sound?
Terrific. We've got a question already in the chat this morning. It says, what does the home need to qualify for photos? I think you touched on that a little bit about we need to utilize the preparation services. Does that include just staging, or is that renovations? Explain that a little bit more for us.
Yeah, so let's go to our premium tier here. So on our premium tier, this is for listings that we prepare for sale. And that means that your client spends a minimum of $15,000 preparing their listing for sale, which, on a $1 million house or even a $500,000 house is not totally out of line. But if you just do staging for, $1,500, then it doesn't qualify for that. So that's if you're subscribed to the Concierge Pro tier and your client spends $15,000 or more preparing their home for sale.
Terrific. Terrific. Earlier, you referenced some other concierge programs out there. Could you maybe touch on some differences there just for a quick second? What really makes this so much farther above and beyond the other programs available? Yeah,
so there's a handful of players in the space. Probably the ones you're most familiar with are Compass, Coldwell Banker, and there's a company called Curbio. So the Compass program and Coldwell Banker are very similar. They're just a financing tool. So they only offer, services for sellers. So they're basically just the free tier, the basic tier. They tap out at the sell side. Did I freeze? You guys see me?
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, my internet froze for a second. They tap out at the sell side commission, and they do that for a reason. And that's because you as the agent are financially responsible for money that's advanced to the client. So, if you just want to handle a renovation on your own, or maybe your clients want to do it and you just want to give them some free money, that's a solution. Our product is very different. So for pre-sale renovations, you get to talk to a designer who helps you and the client figure out what's the right scope of work to drive performance. You have access to our project managers, so you don't have to play unpaid project manager. And you have access to our vendor platform, which are folks that are vetted to be licensed and insured. And if you have your own vendors, we'll always encourage you to work with them, provided that they are licensed and insured. That's one of the first questions we ask you is, hey, do you have any preferred vendors you want to work with? Now that's where the similarities end. Those programs do not have buy before you sell kind of services. They don't have senior services. They don't have a moving concierge, and they certainly don't have services for buyers. So in my opinion, there really isn't a comparison. Now, there is a company called Curbio, which may or may not be active in your markets, and they're a general contractor, just like Joe's contracting service. And again, they only offer pre-sale renovation services. So nothing for, no buy before you sell functionality, no senior services, no moving concierge, no services for buyers. And they have a $15,000 minimum, right? Because they're a general contractor. To get a general contractor out, that's typically a bigger project. And if you look at, 100 homes that are sold, 5 or 10 are perfect and don't need anything and are, ready for the market. 5 or 10 are bombed out and probably should be sold to an investor because they need such large renovation scope in order to be habitable and lendable. The middle 85, 90 need touch-up paint, staging, a little bit of landscaping, deep cleaning. And that scope of work is not going to be $15,000. And if you told your client, hey, we have this program, but you got to spend at least 15 grand, they shut down. So again, Curbio is a general contractor. You're welcome to work with them as a vendor on our platform. We are not the contractor. We are not a vendor. We stress that really clearly. We are not the vendor. So the question is really, do you want to offer pre-sale renovation services, or do you want an entire concierge service for the entire homeowner lifecycle? Do you want to offer your clients renovate now, pay at closing? Do you want to offer a buy before you sell option? Do you want to offer a moving concierge? Do you want to offer buyer solutions? And in that regard, there is no comparison.
Okay, fantastic. That was one of the things we're really excited about is as we started talking about this in the pre-rollout phase, it was clear that this was really above and beyond the other products available in the marketplace. So appreciate all that you've put together and made this really a full package for us. We've got a couple other questions in here. First one, it's regarding return on investment for seller. How does this square with those that already feel they've put work into their homes? And I think that's probably a lot of the sellers we contend with to go in there and they've got the upgraded linoleum and the brass plated faucets and things like that. So I think that's more of a sales pitch or maybe a presentation tool that how do we really go in there and help them identify some areas that would benefit them as far as return on investment.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, can I clarify a little bit?
Sure, please.
It was as related to the first point that was made with respect to spend 10 or 20,000, get $50,000 back. And so often when we're addressing our sellers and determining pricing and what the market is going to accept, this market notwithstanding, so often, we're telling them, that's great, you did this, you put 60 grand in your backyard, but you're not going to recoup that cost. So how is it that we can state that under these criteria or under this program?
Terrific. I think I understand that better now. You clear on that, Fred? Yeah,
I think that, and this is why it's important to understand that this is not just a pre-sale renovation program, right? So, heck, you might have a seller that just bought a brand new tract home 3 years ago and it's pristine and they don't need to do any pre-sale renovations, right? Or maybe they upgraded their home themselves and it's beautiful and it's completely saleable and perfect. So if you're out there selling them pre-sale renovations and they don't need it, you're not going to look so hot. But with this program, you can offer them the ability to buy before they sell. You can offer them a moving concierge. You can offer them the ability to customize the home they're buying. Again, pre-sale renovations are not perfect for everybody. Now, if their home is already renovated, maybe you want to offer them the ability to stage their home before they sell with no cash out of pocket, because staged homes sell for about 3% more than non-staged homes. So again, it's having the right solution for the right client. And that's why, again, training and participating in our one-on-ones is so important, because if you want to bring this entire concierge service to bear, you really got to understand how you apply these solutions to every one of your clients. We would never encourage you to promise a seller that, if they've already upgraded their home, if they do some more upgrades, they'll recoup that cost. And I've seen a lot of ugly homes in my life, and we have a wall of the ugliness. we're on like a national crusade against wallpaper and brass fixtures. But that's a separate matter.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. What if this home seller's home is in a reverse mortgage and there's not much equity? How does that affect their ability to utilize the service?
Yeah, so again, it depends on the service we're talking about. For our pre-sale home prep, they typically have to have at least 25% equity in the home. So even though, and again, with reverse mortgages, it's kind of funny, right? Because if you look at title, it shows the maximum principal balance, whereas they may not have drawn all that down. So with reverse mortgages, one of the first things we do is we ask for a copy of the statement, because that will actually evidence, how much equity they have. Now for our, buy before you sell bridge financing options, they'll go up to 75% LTV. So it depends. Every situation is unique, and it depends if the property's in the middle of nowhere versus in downtown San Diego or downtown LA. It really depends. But that's the advantage here. You submit the listing, we're happy to have a conversation with you and do the legwork to figure that out. The word no is not in our vocabulary.
Okay. So was that a threshold we just heard there? Is we're looking for about 75% LTV on the current home to be able to use the buy before you sell?
Yeah, that's typically a good rule of thumb. So 25% equity in the home versus however much debt they have. And in today's market, with the appreciation folks have seen,
yeah,
that's pretty consistent across the board.
Sure, absolutely. Quick question on staging. So if we utilize staging program, what typically do we see as far as a lead time from the day we request the staging and actually implementation or delivery?
Yeah, so it depends on the stager, it depends on the location of the property, and it depends on the season. So right now, stagers aren't that busy, so be quicker. If you call a stager in July, you may have a week or 2 week lead time. So again, it really depends. But what's critical is we're not the stager, right? We're not in the staging business. We're not in the painting business. We're not in the home renovation business. So if you have a stager you want to work with, provided that they're insured and qualified, we're happy to work with them. If you don't, we're happy to get you other solutions. And if you say, hey, you know what? I'm less concerned with price, but I need to have it staged tomorrow, we'll bend over backwards to find a solution for you.
Sure. That kind of blends right into the next question about vendors and utilizing sellers' preferred vendors, agents' preferred vendors. So this is a key point. I think we've talked about this a little bit. There's been some emails that have gone out. We're going to continue to push those out. But if your clients have a vendor that they'd like to work with, it sounds like your program will work with any of their vendors as long as they're licensed, insured. But there might be a little bit of a delay, wouldn't there, if we waited until then to try and get the vendor approved or on board?
Yeah, so that's why it's really critical to get your vendors onboarded ahead of time. So this program is designed to help you and your homeowner work with their preferred vendors. So if your expectation is that, oh, you got a new, the new cheapest painter is showing up to town, and you got, a low-cost solution provider here, and they're going to undercut all your existing vendors, you will be disappointed. This program is designed to help you work with your preferred vendors and allow them to offer services with professional project management and the cost deferred until closing. So it's critical that you onboard your vendors today, because if you wait until you request a bid, we're going to have to reach out to them and get their license and insurance. And sometimes they say, great, here's my information, boom, done. But most of the time you get them on their cell phone when they're on their job site, and we hunt them down for it. So again, you got an opportunity here in the next couple months when it's a little bit slower. Get them onboarded, let's get them qualified, let's make them ready so that when you want to work with them, come selling season, they're ready to rock and roll.
Sure. Okay. Now, as we move into training, will there be access to some resources or information related to typical costs of certain types of renovations and the types of renovations that produce the best return on investment? Typical costs of staging. Obviously, each home is going to be very different. $1 million home versus a $400,000 home, staging costs and renovation costs can be very different. But will there be some examples? Agents aren't typically involved in those types of things in that aspect, and it would be really nice to have some resources to that end. Is that something we'll have?
Yeah, so we're always happy to provide budgetary numbers with respect to what services typically cost in a particular market. And we don't just publish data. You have an opportunity to call us and ask questions anytime you want. And this is, this is critical. This is a concierge service. This is not, homeadvisor.com. You can literally pick up the phone and talk to a human being in Los Angeles that will have a conversation with you and talk about what's the right solution. And if you just need budgetary numbers to talk to your client, no problem. And if you'd like us to go out and get you proposals to do something, no problem.
Terrific. Okay. So on the buy side, making that the home customization for a buyer, can you walk us through how that would be played out? Somebody finds the home that they want, the carpeting is horrendous or outdated or whatever. When is that done? How is that facilitated? And what kind of impact does that have to the current homeowner, the buyer, timelines?
Yeah. So again, everything is flexible. Most of the time what we're seeing is, we found our dream home, but the kitchen is terrible, right? So we're not happy with the kitchen. We want to upgrade it. So those kind of upgrades would typically be done after the buyer buys the place. And post-closing, they'll have a consultation with one of our designers. They'll get a fixed price proposal of exactly what needs to be done. And they'll have someone that stands right by them and holds their hand through the entire process, which I think is really valuable. It's a much better experience than just working with a traditional contractor. Your client's not going to have to spend 3 days picking out tile samples to find out they're back ordered, right? So it's a much higher touch experience. For stuff like carpet or issues that are found during the diligence phase that you might want to have rectified. Sometimes we've had buyers say, hey, as a condition of closing, I want you to swap out the carpet, and I want Zoom Casa to do it. And here's the price. Just have them do it before closing. Stuff like that we can do, and we're happy to be flexible. We're in the solutions business, so every client is unique, and that's really what I think differentiates full service real estate agents from folks on the internet. Your clients are calling you and expecting a solution, and we're in the business of helping you deliver solutions to your clients. So again, a big takeaway from today's call is it's not one size fits all. We're in the solution business alongside you. So how do we help you deliver those solutions to your clients? And I'm not trying to evade the question. The answer is it depends.
Sure. Okay. Can you touch a little bit on some of the financial aspects of, say, the bridge loan, the purchase before you sell? What does that look like? And I know you mentioned there might be some points and interest rate and such and that, but what could we expect as that pertains to a transaction?
Yeah, so we have a few different ways to accomplish the goal. And the goal here is, how do you help someone buy before they sell? So option one is your traditional bridge loan. And in today's market, that's usually a couple points in the mid-sixes interest rate. But the problem with a bridge loan is that the seller will typically not be able to qualify for traditional financing on their next property because they've already got a loan out on their credit report and will throw off their DTI. That make sense?
Yeah.
So we have a program called Unlock, which will be rolling out, at scale in Q1. It is available now for you as Berkshire Hathaway agents, where it's a hybrid of a bridge loan, kind of like an iBuyer, if you will. And basically the way it works is that the homeowner gets an appraisal and a pre-sale and an inspection report, home inspection, and we buy their home for up to 75% of the value. So they've got a home that's worth $1 million. We will pay them $750,000 for it. And there's an addendum to the purchase agreement that says after we buy it, we are going to engage you as a listing agent to list the home for sale. We are going to prepare the home for sale using our listing concierge service. So we'll, maybe we'll do painting, staging, flooring, whatever drives performance. We will sell the home, and the net proceeds, less whatever we paid for the house, goes back to the seller. So the economics for the seller are basically the same as a bridge loan, if not better. But the clear advantage here is that they can now qualify for a traditional mortgage on their next property. So, there's various solutions, and depends on the clients and, exactly how that works. But again, pick up the phone, call us. We're happy to have a conversation. And you know, bridge loans might be the right solution. Actually, you mentioned we just helped one of your clients that, one of your agents, Erin Dennis, I don't know if she's on the phone today. She had a client that, you know, was making a contingent offer on a property in Arizona, selling a house in California. It wasn't going to close before the Arizona house. The property they were selling was not going to close before the Arizona property was supposed to close, and they would have lost their deposit. So in that case, their client got a bridge loan, and that enables them to buy the house in Arizona before their home sells. And they're paying cash for the next property in Arizona, so it didn't matter if they qualified for a traditional mortgage. But again, it's an entirely bespoke solution. And really, the process starts with you picking up the phone and we working with you to come up with a solution.
Terrific. Now we're excited about that, having someone to be able to reach out to and get questions answered. A couple more real quick questions and we'll let you go. One of them was about relocation services. Is that a nationwide relocation moving service?
Yeah, absolutely. So we, you know, partner with a number of relocation companies. We can coordinate everything from, you know, moving, packing, storage to connecting them with local agents where they're going, and it's the entire process. It's a seamless solution.
Terrific. And then also a question about if someone were to start out in the basic complimentary package, but wanted to upgrade in the near future, is that something that's always open and on the table? Can they always upgrade to the next category if they find that that's a greater benefit to them?
Sure, absolutely. But what's critical here, and this is, you know, really important, is if you want to offer these services to your clients, if you don't want to look like a schmuck, you really need to attend the training ahead of time.
Yes.
So if you sign up for the free version and just want to offer pre-sale renovations, which is totally fine, and that's why we're here. It's a big part of our business. No problem. But if you start explaining, you know, we can offer you buy before you sell. We can offer you, you know, how to customize your home as a buyer. I would really, really encourage you to do the training first. And you can, you know, upgrade anytime you want, attend the training anytime you want, but don't present the option to your client until you're qualified to do so. So the last thing you want to have happen is, you know, you offer your client something and you can't deliver because you won't look so hot.
Right. Now, I think that's been really clear, is that really to understand how these different programs benefit, it's going to be crucially important that everyone gets the training firsthand and really has a strong working knowledge of the programs to be able to speak intelligently and effectively about them. So that's going to be crucial.
You know, I'll tell you that the agents that we work with most, that we find are most productive, they call when they have a client, they understand, you know, what those clients' needs are, what their pain points are, and they call us and say, hey, how can we provide this client a solution? And you can talk to one of our account executives and they'll say, you know, I recommend that we talk about our buy before you sell program. I recommend we get a designer out there to talk about pre-sale home prep services. And I recommend we get them a quote for moving. Really, and you know, we're not expecting you to do this on your own. We're here to help you and work with you. So it's really, you know, how can we help you demonstrate value to your clients? And that's how we look at it. And again, we look forward to working with you and being part of your success. That's why we're here.
Terrific. Now, we're very excited about this. And in kind of that end of presentation, Jennifer had a great comment here about adding a video to our, what we call our Kelsey books, affectionately known as our little black presentation video books. And so all the agents out there, quick commercial, if you don't have one of these, get with your manager and make sure you get one of these presentation books. This has got a video preloaded on it about one of our programs, and we look forward to having a video on there about Apex as well. So
excellent.
Yeah, very good. Well, Fred, thank you so much for being here this morning, taking time out of your busy schedule to be with all of us. We've got about 100 people on the call this morning in our Temecula Valley, and just really pleased that we got this in front of that many people. And we're really looking forward to the November 1st rollout and being a part of this program going forward. So thank you, Fred.
Thank you very much for having me. We look forward to working with your agents. All right, take care.
Terrific. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Good.
And everybody else stick around. We've got in our next section here, we're going to talk a little bit about what do we do. And one of the things that Fred mentioned is typically this time of year, things slow down a little bit. And we're all of the opinion that that's not going to happen this year. If you saw Mark Stark's Facebook Live this week, you'll know that he's of the same opinion, that this year, as is typical in a 4-year election cycle, right after the election, things get really busy. And add to that all the environment we've had with COVID and everything else. This is one of those years that you're going to want to stay busy, because we will have activity like you haven't seen right through the winter, through the spring, and into the next summer selling season. So it's going to be really important to get a firm understanding of Apex as we go forward November 1. But to further that, we've got Landwood Titles with us this morning, and they're going to walk us through getting some data. And we've been talking about this for some time with Landwood, and they're going to show us and explain to us how we can purchase at a really unbelievable cost data for geographic audiences. So it's like farming data for a geographic area, and maybe you want the emails that you can use VAC 2.0 to send out neighborhood reports, holiday messages, market reports, quarterly market reports, you name it. But getting the emails for the people that own homes in a geographic area. So we've got Michelle and Amber on board here. Are you guys tied in?
Yes. Good morning, Joe.
Hey, good morning. So tell us about how we can get this data. What do we do to figure it out, and how do we figure out what the cost is?
Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and show the agents how to order the farm using our TitleFi system. So they're going to go ahead and order the farm using TitleFi. And what we're going to do from this point forward is show you how to do that and then what happens next. So Amber, I'm going to hand it over to you real quick. I see you're up and going.
Yes. So this is the TitleFi system via web-based. So there's 2 versions. There's your app-based if you have an iOS device, or if you prefer a desktop version. So this is the desktop version. All you're going to do is you're going to come over here and you're going to locate a farm. So we're in Temecula. And so what it's going to do, first it's going to find all the addresses with the name Temecula in there. And then it's going to find owners. If you scroll down, it's going to find places. So here we have Temescal. It should have...
Down just a little bit, a little lower.
Down here. It wasn't the first one. I practiced this. Okay, so it takes you to that area automatically, but you can scroll around and find a location or a farm area that you know you want to farm. So you can use the plus and the minus sign to either zoom in or out. I'm just going to show you quickly how to create a farm and export it so that you can order emails and phone numbers. So I'm going to create a farm in this area. So I'm going to click on what people are referring to as a feather, but if you hover over it, it tells you what it's going to do. It says click to create a farm. So you click and you're going to do a draw mode, and it spells out the street so you know where you're at. So once you go to here, let's go here, 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 here. And we're just clicking as we go, and we're connecting the polygrams. So you can see how many homes you have in that. So if you decide, you know what, I need a little bit more, you can just grab one of the white circles and drag it out. Or move it all together like this. So now we have 500. So that sounds like a good number. Now we're going to preview to see what is in our farm. And it automatically gives you an overview of your farm. It gives you your turnover rate, how many hot properties, owner occupied, and non-owner occupied, and the total number of farms. So if you're fine with that, you just click on save, name your farm, click save, and then here it is. So the little green dots are the properties that are currently for sale. This is supposed to be a dark blue, but it looks like it's black. Those are pending properties. The yellow, and if you click on them, it'll tell you what it is. And this is recently sold, and little fire one, they're the hot properties. and the gray are off market. So once you have your farm, you can export it, or you can actually view it down here. And if you have, once you have your farm, you can export it. So let's go out. Now I'm in my, automatically takes you to where all your saved farms are. And let's export this one. So right now I have 26 farms. So it just saves them. So here's the Temecula one. So let's export it. Okay, so here is how it's exported. So you'll know the first tab is a farm overview. And if you go down, you'll see tabs. So this is your complete farm. And it gives you your assessor, your owner's full name, owner first name, and it separates the owner's names. And this is important because when you upload it to your VAC, it's very specific on how you're gonna name your contacts. And it wants you to name your contacts with the owner's first name, and then another column, the owner's first name, the first owner's last name. However, with the second owner, you are going to have to enter it with a full name. So that's this column. But if you're ordering emails and phone numbers, which emails you can get for 9 cents an email, or if you want phone numbers, there's 6 cents per phone number. So all you're going to do is you're going to make sure you're looking down below to see what you want to order. So if you just want to order emails and phone numbers for the hot properties, just let us know, send us over this spreadsheet so you can email it over to Michelle Markham, and just let her know that you want emails and phone numbers or just emails for a specific tab. And then we can order those for you.
Amber, can you
Does
real quickly
anybody have any?
Yeah, can you tell us real quick what determines a property that's considered a hot property?
A hot property is always owner occupied, and it was sold within the last 4 to 7 years, and the equity is greater than 20%. It's off the market.
So an algorithm is used for showing these hot properties, obviously. So, you know, you probably wouldn't want to just limit yourself for emails or phone numbers just for the hot properties. You want to be able to service your whole geographic farm. I think that if you wanted to go ahead and expand, and maybe have a separate farm for the hot properties after you get your regular geographic farm up and going, I think that that would be fine as an add-on to your farm. But I think that it would be best suited for the agents to be able to use this for your actual farm. Now, once you go ahead and send me your spreadsheet and let me know what you want in the way of phone numbers or emails, then at that point in time, I'll go ahead and send that over to our third-party vendor. So it's Data Solutions is our third-party vendor. And so what will happen is you will go ahead and receive an email with the number of emails or phone numbers in your area. Once you approve the amount, then you would go ahead and respond from the email from Data Solutions and say, it looks fantastic, go ahead and proceed. Once you go ahead and do that, you will pretty much instantly get an invoice from Data Solutions. It'll be a QuickBooks invoice. You'll go ahead and pay for the data, and you get your emails and phone numbers pretty much right away. I know it sounds like a couple different levels, You won't really experience a time delay in the way of any kind of lengthy time. It is very, very quick and efficient, the system that we do have. So I know I'm reading the bottom. I'm on my phone. I don't have my computer. It's all packed up in the car. But the emails, there with all of the systems, Amber, and you can touch on this as well, as we did do a lot of research when we did decide to add this platform. Now, a lot of the services that we looked into did not have very good accuracy models for emails. This system was the best system in the way of the quality of the data. I know Amber's been looking at other options as well. She is our technology gal. I mean, she is really, really good at what she does. So Amber, do you want to touch on that real quick?
So the typical accuracy is about 75%. So when you're requesting emails and forms, you can't expect to get, you have 500 contacts. We're not going to be able to find email and a phone number for each contact. What you're going to see in an email, they're going to let you know, out of 500, we were able to get 450. And you can determine when you're looking at that, if that's okay with you. They're not going to send you the spreadsheet before you pay. So they're not going to send you the emails and phone numbers with the spreadsheet before you pay, but you can see the numbers. So it kind of gives you an option, and you don't have to feel obligated, but to pay for it. If you decide, you know what, I don't want to do this, you just basically say thank you, but no thank you. But yeah, as far as the accuracy, that is, it's kind of a hit and miss. So nothing is 100%. Just keep that in mind.
The agents that have been using this system thus far have had amazing results. Mm-hmm. So again, with what you have available at your fingertips with the VAC, you folks have an amazing brokerage that offers you the basically the sun and the moon and the stars. So with the drip campaigns and things that they have that they offer you, it actually is, it's seamless. You know, I feel horrible that we're in COVID and we have to think outside the box for farming and marketing. But this has had amazing success with our Berkshire Hathaway family. So Joe, do you have any questions?
Just a comment on that, if I could real quick. You know, 450 data records out of 500 is phenomenal. So that's terrific. But also, let's say that the accuracy is 75%. That means 25% of the emails might not be in the farm. They might have lived there before. They might have never lived there. It's still an audience. And what's exciting is those people are seeing your information. And if they live in another neighborhood or they've moved and they're impressed with what they see, they may call you up and say, hey, listen, that's really exciting information, but could I get it from my neighborhood? Could I get it from my home? So that is phenomenal. And, you know, Jennifer's comment here, $40 for 450 contacts. Oh my gosh, just translate this to what we used to pay for postcards. And that was a one-time shot. And you'd spend $700 a month if you wanted to hit 1,000 homes twice a month. And now it's $1,400 to do that kind of activity. So the VAC 2.0, if you have not really mastered and understood what you've got with VAC 2.0, the neighborhood report, start with that one. But that is such a huge opportunity to be in front of your clients every month with something relevant. And this is the source of the data. So if you spend $40 for 450 contacts, that's your audience twice a month from here on out. And you just keep adding to that. So I know you wanted to share with us how to take that data that was downloaded and put into the VAC. Do you have time to do that really quickly here, about 5 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so once you're pulling it out of TitleFi and you have your emails and phone numbers, and now you want to upload it to the VAC, all you're going to do, and the VAC has made it super easy for you. I sat on one of Chris's trainings and I was able to grasp it. I mean, it basically tells you what to do. So you're going to go to contacts and leads, import. So you're importing your contacts and leads, and import contacts. And this is an Excel format. So when you're pulling it off of the Title V site, it's going to be Excel. And then we're going to browse and we're going to look for it. And I always just put everything on my desktop because my desktop is usually clean. So then all you're going to do is you're going to name it. And this is what I was referring to. This is the owner's full name. So these columns, this is what your spreadsheet has on it. So it's telling you what your spreadsheet looks like. So here it has the owner's full name. Well, I want to separate them. So I want to have the owner's the owner one first name, owner one last name, and then here it has the owner two full name, and this is what I want to put on there. And what you're going to do is you're just going to choose spouse partner name because it doesn't give you the option for owner two. And then you could just skip over the items that you don't need to upload. So here is the street address, so home, and you want to be careful when you're uploading because you want to know what you're uploading. I just did the complete farm, so you might want to do one that's owner occupied and one that's non-owner occupied, and you can name them accordingly. So we don't have unit numbers. This is the city, state, and zip code. And if I have emails and phone numbers, so this is just, it's uploading the whole entire spreadsheet, and this spreadsheet has a ton of data. So you have a ton of data at your fingertips, and it's always going to be in your Title V system unless you decide you want to delete that farm. So here automatically just links up notes, but this is not notes. So I'm just going to take that off. And then say this column would be emails and phone numbers. So you just click email, and if you had another column, it would show it and you would just name it as a phone number. So once you're done with that, you just click next, and it automatically is going to be ignore any duplicates. I don't suggest you click allow duplicates because you're going to have a ton of contacts. So let's just click next. And I like to keep things organized. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a group. And right here, once you create a group, it's going to tell you what is the name. Just click next, and you're finished. So here it's just telling you what's invalid, what's valid. On this farm, there's, I believe, HOAs. So you can either view them, you can see, and you just click OK. You can deal with them or not. But then here are your contacts. If there was emails, it would be right here. And it's going to import the ones that don't have emails. But if you click on email, it's going to give you a list of all the contacts with emails. So you can sort by just clicking on the actual header. So that's it. I mean, it's super quick, but if anybody needs any help, we are always here for you.
Hey, Amber,
Yes.
is there a way when you order the farm that you can have a sort by hot properties, or they just all come together? I know you have the owner occupied, and then you have the absentee owner spreadsheets from Data Solutions. Is there a way to get a separate spreadsheet that is just hot properties?
So when you exported it, there was a tab. Let me go here.
Yes, for hot properties, yes.
Yeah, so that's how you would do it.
Okay.
So you just click on that tab.
Well, if you order the whole farm for everything, like you said, you know, instead of just ordering hot properties, I'm going to just order everyone's email address, which will include the hot properties, correct?
Yes.
So once you export it into or import it into VAC, is there a way to sort it in VAC by only hot properties?
No, because the
You
VAC
know?
is not to distinguish what's hot property. The hot
Okay.
properties stop there.
Okay,
So
that was my
let me
question.
jump in there with a suggestion though. In fact, let me clarify real quick. So Amber, when we send the spreadsheet to Michelle sends them to Data Solutions, the data we get back with the emails or phone numbers, whatever we're requesting, is it going to be in the same format as the spreadsheet was that we sent? So we're going to get the tabs at the bottom and all of that sort capability?
You will, however, you have to make sure when you're requesting the emails and phone numbers that you're requesting it on a specific tab, or else they're going to just go ahead and do your complete farm.
Complete farm. Okay, so you can request them by tab, and if you get them by tab, then when you upload that tab's worth of data, let's say like that neighborhood right there was Rancho Highlands, you could say Rancho Highlands hot properties when you create your group. And then you could create Rancho Highlands for everybody, but you could have a subgroup of just the hot properties if you wanted to work those specifically with a different campaign.
Yeah, you definitely can do that.
I'm very excited about this. I did a training the other day, and I think it was Dawn, if you're on here, I think it was you we were going through, and I literally set the stopwatch and uploaded a database of contacts. It did the entire thing in less than 4 minutes from the time we started capturing the data to the time we uploaded it into the VAC. And then we reset the stopwatch and we went from 0 to done with a neighborhood report in 8 minutes. That's how quick and easy this really is. So if you haven't started engaging that, jump back in on some of those recorded sessions with Chris and take advantage of this. This is a huge opportunity, and what Landwood's been able to come forward with for us is just amazing. Title V is fantastic. If you haven't been through one of those training sessions yet, make sure you get tied into one of the upcoming training sessions, and then capture some of this email data. And like Jennifer said, $40 for 450 records, and Dale jumped in there and said, that's so much better than postage. Oh my gosh. This is really the truest sense of a game changer. This gives us control over a geographic audience that we can market very inexpensively and effectively. So very excited about it. Thank you, Michelle and Amber, for coming to the table and showing us how to work through this and how to integrate it with VAC. I'm glad you've been able to do that.
Perfect. So if you have not created a Title V account, you just go onto the Landwood Title website. The upper right hand corner, it says sign up for Title V or sign in to Title V. So if you have not created an account, it would be really quick and easy for you to do that. And it takes about 24 hours for you to go ahead and get the link for your account. So if you need any help, Amber and I are here for you anytime. We're here evenings and weekends. But you can always reach out and we'll get you all situated. We do work side by side with Chris Weeder. And that's the amazing family connection right there, that we're able to actually work together side by side to make things seamless for you. So again, we're here for you. And Joe, I'm always here for you as well, all of you guys. So thank you for having us.
No, thank you. And thank you to Shannon for coordinating the Zoom meeting and running that in the background. Thank you for that. And just thank you to everybody on the team, Jennifer and Carol, our managers in Menifee and Lake Elsinore. We've got a phenomenal team here, and just so blessed to be a part of this. Thank you all of you for taking time out of your schedule this morning to be here. I hope you found value in this. Hope you understand what these kind of opportunities, when you go on a listing appointment, they may not be something that this client wants to engage, but it gives them every reason to work with you, as you've got every solution on the table, including the Zavvy iBuyers, Apex concierge service. You're going to have everything that they could possibly want. There's no reason that they wouldn't work with you. So these are all just arrows in the quiver, things you take to the table to make sure that you've got that listing appointment sewn up. And so I hope you all take advantage of that. Have great success. Remember to go out and vote next week. Very important time of the year. Get out there and vote, vote, vote. Gene Wunderlich has said forever, if you don't have a seat at the table, you're probably on the menu. So let your voices be heard. I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but just get out there and vote. And work like never before. You're going to watch and see this, and you're either going to be a part of it or you're going to watch it happen. But after this election, it's going to get busy. So right now, today is the time to reconnect with everybody you've got in your database and make sure they remember who you are when they're picking up the phone next week. So thanks for being here, everybody.